it's Christy, and today I'm going to be doing another writing update. So I am really nervous to be talking about this. In my last writing update, I believe I shared my first draft, the story of my first draft experience, and then that I was in my second draft, and kind of how I figured all of that out and how I wanted to proceed with that. So I've been working on my second draft and I am almost done with it now. One of the biggest challenges that I have had is talking about my story. I know I've heard a lot of other writers express the same concern. It's sort of an irrational fear, I think, but it's something that, you know, your story is so close to your heart and you have so much of yourself wrapped up in it and so much of your, I almost want to say self-esteem wrapped up in it, that you're just, if anyone says anything negative, it's just soul crushing, you know. And so I think it is this irrational fear that either someone's gonna hate it or, you know, you're gonna suddenly lose motivation to finish it, you know, like you speaking it aloud, suddenly you're gonna convince yourself that you hate it altogether and then you're just not gonna be able to finish it, or I don't know what it is. But yeah, so I have just had a huge phobia of talking about it, and I've really been pushing myself to get out of that rut, because I know that, you know, especially when it gets closer to the time that I'm publishing, I have to. So here I go. I'm just going to push myself to do it and get over it. I'm going to be sharing an update on my debut novel, Josie's List. So the setting for my novel is pretty much all across Europe. The main characters travel to all these different cities in Europe, from Paris to Rome, Venice, Ireland, along the coast of Ireland. London makes an appearance. Yeah, a lot of different cities, and that's been really fun to write. So if you're a big fan of traveling, you know, you're a world traveler, I think you'll enjoy it. I am, so I've definitely been enjoying it. My main character's name is Eloise, and she's recently experienced a tragedy in her life. I'm not going to go into a lot of the plot, but my novel definitely touches on themes of mental illness and grief and guilt, and just, you know, people who are struggling at some point in their life, I hope, can relate to it. Definitely has romance in it. I'm a sucker for romance. I don't know if I could write something that didn't have a romance in it. So yeah, there's definitely a big romance in it as well. And I'll be definitely excited to talk about the love interest some more, maybe in a future update. But those have been really fun scenes for me to write too. And Josie's List is a contemporary fiction novel, so it is set in present day. It's just been so much fun. Especially since I started my second draft and I had a much tighter vision of what I wanted. It's just so rewarding when you know that your scene is touching on those themes that you wanted in your novel. Like, I'm saying something, you know? It's not just about the plot and getting these characters from A to B. It's about, you know, actually conveying a message, and I love that. So I don't know when this video is going to be posted, but I'm hoping to be done with my second draft sometime in October, and depending on when I want to spend the rest of that month doing some research in terms of self-publishing, my goal is to have my debut novel published at 30. I'm actually turning 30 at the very end of this year. I know it's not going to be published by then, of course, because I'm on the second draft, but I'm thinking, as if I can have it published sometime next year, then I can still say that I was published at 30. I was 30 when I was first published, so that would be amazing. When you have those sort of bucket list items, those are really important, you know, and you want to hit those. And, you know, sometimes things don't exactly work out in the timeline that you envisioned, but if I can control that, then I'd like to. So yeah, so that's my goal, is to have my second draft finished in October. I'm going to do a read through of it And then I'm probably going to send out some queries because I'm still not entirely sure that I want to self-publish. And then I'm going to be sending it also to, maybe at the same time that I'm querying, sending it to a developmental editor and getting their thoughts on it. I just want to make sure that I'm being super consistent. And also, I just want a professional's opinion in terms of structure. I want to make sure that I'm structuring it as well as I can. And also in terms of my market, I want a professional's opinion on making sure that my story is consistent with the market. And then after that, so after I get the feedback from the developmental editor, and I make those edits, I'm also going to be sending it to beta readers. I would like to feel as confident about it as possible before I send it out to my peers, because I still do get pretty nervous about sharing my work. I just want it to be the best that it can be, and I think I feel a little bit better about a stranger and a professional reading through it first and kind of giving me their feedback before I send it, to my peers. But I still have a lot of work to do on my work in process, but I think that the story is pretty contained. But in terms of, I still have a lot of research to do in terms of, my market, in terms of self-publishing, traditional publishing. I mean, all of these sort of like logistical things, it's gonna be a lot of work. And to have a hard, tangible copy, oh my gosh, that's what I need. To really push myself towards like these harder steps that are coming up, is to just envision the hard copy of my beautiful book in my hands, and that day that I get to unbox it, and it's just gonna be so great. I can't wait. So thank you so much for following me along on this journey. I really, really appreciate the support and words of encouragement. If anyone else out there is working on their debut, I'm sure you can relate to everything that I'm feeling, or most things anyway. I will do another writing update soon, and thanks again. Bye.